Hello and welcome back to Sunny Talk Spurs, and today with a heavy heart I'm going to be talking about Tottenham's injury situation. But before I get into this one, if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sunny Talk Spurs and hit that notification bell because that will tell you when I'm going live. But let's get into this one. And you know, I was in jubilant mood, had a lovely Christmas back in the usual studio for the first time in ages, still wearing my Duff Man pyjamas, but honestly, you wake up to news again, labelled at Tottenham Hotspur, that we have suffered yet another injury. And this time it's Cristian Romero who suffered a hamstring injury against Everton in our last game. Obviously, came off as a sub, replaced by Eric Dyer, worryingly, and now he will be out between 4 to 5 weeks. I've read multiple reports. It's just not ideal. You know, I've seen Romero's been criticised this season for his disciplinary record and that, but you know, when him and Mickey van der Ven were playing together earlier in the season, they were absolutely dynamite. And you know, he's still a good centre-back. He still had a few good games in his last couple of appearances. So again, we're yet without a senior centre-back in the squad. And against Brighton tomorrow, we're either going to have Emerson and Ben Davies, maybe Alfie Dorrington makes his debut, hopefully not Eric Dyer. That would put the fear of God into me. But it makes me think, yet again, you know, people talk about Newcastle's injuries, people talk about Man United's injuries, because they're the two other teams who have suffered quite a lot this season. Not many people are talking about Tottenham's injuries, because the injuries that have happened this season have been astronomical, and the suspensions as well. I know that's a separate issue which I have addressed, but we won't talk about that because we know Bissouma's now out until he comes back from AFCON. We are losing Sarr as well to AFCON, which are separate things, and Son to the Asia Cup. So that's a separate issue which I've addressed in multiple other videos, so I won't go into that detail. But again, we have not had our proper squads and proper starting 11 lineup, whatever you want to call it, since the first 10-ish fixtures. It's just been absolutely depleted since that Chelsea game. And I'm looking at our injury list now, and Perisic, Bentancur, Mickey van der Ven, Maddison, Sessegnon. I mean, I feel like I've not seen Sessegnon for years. Solomon, Romero now. Richarlison was injured earlier in the season. You know, we lost Udogie, we lost Bissouma through suspensions. It's just been absolutely incredible. And I just don't think, you know, people aren't giving us the benefit of the doubt when it's come to injuries. You know, Sarr's been injured as well earlier in the season, came back with an injury. And I'm looking at like Tottenham's starting lineup against Everton, and it just, you know, it was depleted. It was, you know, we're still not playing the same players that, you know, we were at the beginning of the season. And, you know, a lot of players have had to, you know, pick up the load. Like Porro's played a lot of minutes, and Johnson's probably played more minutes than he thought. Kulusevski has been relied on heavily. You know, Son as well. You know, he's come off the back of an injury last season. I don't know if it's the style of players increased the injuries, or just everyone's suffering in general since the World Cup and so many fixtures, but it is actually getting quite worrying, isn't it, in the Premier League in general, in world football, the amount of injuries we are seeing, usually, you know, ankle, hamstrings, stuff like that. But, you know, ahead of a vital fixture, again, against Brighton, and then we've got Bournemouth, Man United, loads of other fixtures to come, obviously, and you know, the FA Cup as well against Burnley. It's just not ideal, you know, for the rest of the season. And January is going to be really important. You know, we've been linked with Jean-Clair Todibo. I think that transfer needs to be made an absolute priority now, especially after this Romero injury. But no, for the next few fixtures, we're not going to have, you know, recognised centre-backs, or at least senior centre-backs, depending if we play some of the youngsters. You know, I believe we'll have probably Dorrington playing in the Burnley game. I've also remembered, injury-wise, Phillips has been injured, so maybe we can't call on him either. It's just been absolutely, I can't believe it. I thought, you know, it was going so well in the first 10 fixtures, like injury-wise. But since that Chelsea game, it's been absolutely a disaster, and we've been cursed when it's come to suspensions and, injuries and all that sort of stuff. We just seem to not be able to, go a game without an injury or something. And I don't think it is the style of play. I don't think it is, the stopping and the starting. People, there's all certain factors. It just happens to be that there is something going on in the Premier League. You have to let me know what your theories are. Why are players getting so injured? I feel like I've said this to people recently. I don't remember back in the day in the noughties, when I was getting into football, there being so many injuries. I felt like I saw the same team week in, week out. But I don't know if it's because of the intensity of the Premier League. Maybe some players aren't used to the intensity. We see with certain players. But, Romero, he's a strong guy who, we've seen that the tackles he can put in during games. He won't go down easy, but, a certain injury like this, it's hamstrings all the time, like the same sort of injuries. But honestly, it's deflating, isn't it? Like, especially as a Tottenham fan, the Tottenham fans probably watching this now. You want to go to that next level. And at the moment, we're only playing one game a week. We're out of the cup, we're not in Europe. And this is with, one game a week at the moment. So what we need is Daniel Levy in the next couple of windows, not just January, the summer, and as long as we keep Ange, and I hope we keep Ange for a long time, he needs to put his hand in his pocket and invest in this squad. The squad is threadbare, it's thin, and I've said this so many times till I'm blue in the face, as blue as this jumper. We need to really get a squad together. I'm not acting and pretending that we're going to be having a Manchester City style squad where we have two world-class players in each position. Not at all. We've seen how versatile a player like Kulusevski can be and slot in for Maddison. But we still need some reinforcements, like Todibo, like a Solanke I keep calling for, like a Jimenez maybe instead, or a Nusa. We need these players in because we're just, so threadbare. And, some of the players that we're having to call on, Skip, Hill, not good enough. Dyer, Lloris, we need to get rid of some of the deadwood as well. And we've got a whole issue with our homegrown quota, which I'm looking to do a video on very, very soon. It's just been so busy over the Christmas holidays. But yeah, I'm just very perplexed about this all. I'm not sure what it's down to at all. But yeah, Romero's out now for 4 to 5 weeks. Just not ideal, not where we want to be heading in that direction. But yeah, we're just going to have to roll with the punches. We've gone through some bad spells so far this season, not down to the players and not down to the managers, just the way the cookie has crumbled sometimes. We're in a process, we're at the beginning, we will get there. We just need to keep rolling with the punches like us Tottenham fans do. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you make of this latest injury setback and the injuries so far this season? What is your theory of how they're all coming around? Is it Ange's style of play? I don't seem to think so. But let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sunny Talk Spurs, and hit that notification bell because it'll let you know when I'm going live. And just smash the like button, smash it all, because I'm aiming to get 2,000 subscribers soon, hopefully. So yeah, please do that, and I'll see you again pretty soon. And ciao.